And first of all, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Indian Institute of Entrepreneurship and MSDE for making this happen. My association with IIE goes back more than 3 decades. In the late 80s, after I finished my college education outside the state, I came home and I went through the entire rigmarole of trying to find a formal job, which I didn't. And around that time, I chanced upon this program, which is jointly being organized by the government of Nagaland and in IIE, ostensibly under self-reliance and entrepreneurship. But trust me, around that time, the concept of entrepreneurship was very, very alien to us. I attended the program and I continue to partner with them. In fact, most recently, we have collaborated on a project which is under MSME, a scheme called Spurti. And it was in this program that the Honorable Minister, who's sitting right here, visited our center in CFC in Dimapur, and he was the chief architect and enabler for getting us to skill 2,000 plus craftspeople from Nagaland. And I'm happy to tell you that this kind of training, skilling, and upskilling is the critical need of the hour. And from our cluster, we were able to connect our artisans straight away to the overseas market. In fact, the merchandise that we taught the artisans during the skilling program reached the shores of USA straight during the Christmas season. I believe that together with IIE and the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, this region, which has been considered as the growth engine of India, needs much more focus on that same lines. Thank you for this opportunity, and I'm much privileged.
Thank you so much, Shrimati Jalyan. Congratulations, and thank you for sharing your story with us. MSDE के तरफ से 4 मिनट की एक लघु फिल्म हम प्रस्तुत करना चाहेंगे जो कि नॉर्थ ईस्ट में स्किल डेवलपमेंट और एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप प्रयासों पे प्रकाश डालती है. Can we please have the audio visual?
In the heart of India lies a region of diverse cultures, rich civilizations and abundant natural resources, the Northeast. Under the visionary leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi, this region has emerged as the growth engine of the country. Recognizing its immense potential, the Prime Minister coined a new identity for the 8 states, calling them Ashtalakshmi.
नॉर्थ ईस्ट के लोगों की आवश्यकताओं को देखते हुए, उनकी जरूरतों को समझते हुए योजनाएं बनाई जा रही हैं और उन्हें लागू किया जा रहा है. मैं मानता हूं कि नॉर्थ ईस्ट के 8 राज्य अष्टलक्ष्मी देश के विकास के नए ग्रोथ इंजन है और इनकी गति बढ़ने का मतलब है देश के विकास की गति बढ़ना.
The Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship has transformed possibilities into achievements. They've nurtured a dynamic skill ecosystem in the Northeast, connecting the youth with countless employment opportunities within the country and beyond. The Ministry's tireless efforts have expanded the network of ITIs and NSTIs across the region, and several have been upgraded. Today, with 106 ITIs and 3 NSTIs, the Northeast is a hub of skill development. Over the last 7 years, around 14 lakh candidates have undergone training, equipping them with both short-term and long-term skills. The Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana has transformed the lives of 12 lakh young individuals, paving their way to success. Innovation thrives in the Northeast. Indian Institute of Entrepreneurship, IIE, an autonomous organization of MSDE, has provided training and hand-holding services to more than 3 lakh beneficiaries. With over 30 colleges and universities hosting entrepreneurship development cells and incubation centers, dreams are turning into thriving businesses. Support for 10,000 small and micro units has been a catalyst for particularly in handloom, handicraft, and SME sectors. The National Apprenticeship Promotion Scheme has been the bridge between education and industry, engaging 35,519 apprentices. Today, these apprentices are not just learning, but also earning in sectors ranging from cutting-edge technologies like AI and IoT to cherished traditional crafts. MSDE has also trained more than 98,000 candidates till now in Northeast through Jana Shikshan Sansthan, JSS, agriculture. The backbone of the region has not been left untouched. Skill training through Skill India has empowered 5,928 youths and farmers, fostering growth across rural sectors. With these initiatives, the Northeast has flourished. Skilled youth have ignited unprecedented progress, proving that this region is indeed India's fastest growing growth engine. Guided by Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi's visionary leadership, the Northeast is not just embracing change, it's driving it one skill at a time. The story of the Northeast is a tale of transformation, empowerment, and a brighter tomorrow.
An exceptional and extraordinary initiative by MSDE on transforming lives, building futures, skill development and entrepreneurship in the entire Northeast region. Can we have a big round of applause from all of you? So moving on, may I now request Srimati Sonal Mishra, Joint Secretary MSDE, to kindly step onto the stage and take us through a presentation on skilling and entrepreneurship initiatives in the Northeast region.
Very good afternoon. A very good morning, still a very good morning to respected ministers, sirs, and the honorable dignitaries on the dais. Sir, we have had a lot of demonstration and presentations since the session began. So maybe I will very quickly go through the presentation. We have already had a AV encompassing the details of the initiative taken by the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. So a very warm welcome to each one of you, and with the permission of Honorable Minister, sir, I may begin the presentation. Yes. So next. Sir, the vision of the Honorable Prime Minister is to make this century a very important century for the globe under the leadership of the youth of India, by taking forward the mantra of skilling, reskilling and upskilling. Next. So, India is in the Amrit Kal, and this is the Amrit period, and the vision of the Honorable Prime Minister, sir, and the vision of the Mantralaya under the guidance of Honorable Minister, sir, is to capitalize on this demographic dividend which this Amrit Pidhi is having in the Amrit Kal. Next. So the present ecosystem of the skilling, I will just very quickly go through, is the standardization and the regulation. Now we have the common norms, the National Skill Qualification Framework under the regulator of NCVET. We have more than 4,500 plus courses approved, and of which 119 courses are the new age courses, and we have more than 340 new age courses in the offing. The skill delivery has been made to more than 6 crores of the candidates. We have a very huge and a very robust, very agile, very responsive industry connect through the 36 sector skill council. We have more than 40,000 industries which are already engaging the apprentices on the apprenticeship portal. We have ITIs which are having dual system of training functioning in 978 ITI presently. We have a very robust system of demand assessment in the districts. We are having representation from the 8 states. So many of the district functionaries are here, and they are quite aware that the district skill committees are headed by the district commissioners, the district magistrates, and they do a very agile, a very market-driven skill assessment and the skill gap study of the districts, and basis that the courses are taken up for the skilling. We also have future-ready courses in the employability skill, which include the digital literacy, financial literacy, the soft skills, and the new age courses, and the inclusivity in the diversity which this country holds. We are very concerned, and we are very responsive towards taking to the last mile the delivery of the skilling project through Skill on Wheels, through the RPL, that is recognition of prior learning. We hold special camps right at the Gram Panchayat level. We have special provisions for the women, for the PWD, for the SC, ST and other communities. Next. We also are I must say, we have a very firm foothold in the international mobility. We have 11 G2B MOUs with 11 countries, 23 B2B MOUs, we have 100 global employers. The Skill India International is again a center which is high on the international mobility, and that is also one thing which I think Northeastern region hold a high potential. As we move ahead, I will just showcase how we are taking up the international mobility also in this NER region. The integration with education is, I would say, the pillar, the foundation of all the skilling initiatives which MSDE is doing. It is in active collaboration with the education. Sir, I am happy to say that today also we are having representation from many educational institutions which include school, college, AICTE approved college, the universities, and many in thousands are connected online as well, sir. So we have the National Credit Framework and the Common Student Registry, which is for the ease of mobility between education and skilling. And skilling in the educational institution is done through the National Curriculum Framework. We have made the skilling very aspirational, the World Skill Competition, multi-entry, multi-exit. So the pathway is such that a young boy or a girl in class 5, in class 7, in class 8 has a very robust mobility moving between education to skilling, to apprenticeship, to job, coming back to education, getting credits in between. So I think this is something which we will have discussions in the sessions also, sir. So I'm only giving an overview or a food for thought for all the participants present here. But the basis of the new education policy and the agile pathway is something which is what the youth is aspiring today. The convergence with the various schemes and the Skill India Digital. Ultimately, whatever we are talking right now, all the initiatives of not only Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, but of all the ministries of Government of India, of all the state governments, every initiative is being captured on the Skill India Digital, and that is where the youth, the industry, the employer, the international institutions, the educational institutions would get the demand and the supply side, and that is where each and every projection, each and every aspiration, and each and every matchmaking kind of a thing, the right kind of demand and the right kind of supply is which would be matching at the Skill India Digital. And very important is skilling for entrepreneurship, sir. And since morning, we have been witness to the great initiatives of the entrepreneurship, which Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship is doing in Northeast through the IIE and at others through NISBAT. So I've indicated certain numbers there, and Ministry functions not only through NISBAT and IIE, but we are in collaboration and in a way aggregator to the entrepreneurship initiatives not only taken up by the ministries, by the parastatal of the ministries, but also by the micro and the nano entrepreneurs across country. Next. So triggers of change, I would say the new technology, the digital elements, skilling, the new emerging skilling like the AI, drone, robotics, so on and so forth. The international skill mapping, as I said earlier, alignment with the new education policy, alignment with the national priorities. So we have already done the mapping on the PM Gati Shakti portal. I would, in the further slides, will be just showcasing how we have mapped the training institutions on the PM Gati Shakti portal through to the district skill gap survey, and with that the ODOP. ODOP, that is one district, one product. The digital payment network, the industry partnership, sitting with the industry, collaborating with the industry, framing the curriculum in tandem with the industry, so that exactly whatever is the demand of the industry is rightly matched with whatever is being supplied through our educational and skilling ecosystem. Making skilling aspirational, I have already spelled out, sir, and I think, sir, very shortly we also will be having the celebration of the Vishwakarma Divas and the Dikshant also, where we have started conducting the convocation Samaroh of the ITI passed out candidates, sir, which also is a kind of an honor to the skills which the ITI impart to them. So it is, in short, a convergence and whole of government approach. Next. So skilling so far, now I will be very specific to what we are doing in the Northeast region. So skilling so far is around 14 lakh candidates which are trained in the short and the long term, of which 4.5 lakh candidates have been trained in the short term and more than 7 lakh have been trained in the recognition of prior learning in the Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana. More than 85,000 candidates have been trained through the Jan Shikshan Sansthan. There are 14 Jan Shikshan Sansthan in the Northeast region. Around 15,000 apprentice establishments have registered themselves on the portal and they are engaging apprentices. And till now, we have had around 40,000 apprentices who have been taken this training and also the stipend, which is 1,500 per month for each apprentice. This is in addition to the stipend support which they get from the establishment, and this 1,500 support goes to the bank account of the apprentices through DBT by the Government of India, MSDE. We have around 61,000 candidates who have been enrolled in 106 ITI, both government and private. And under Conclave, Conclave is a scheme where special projects are approved and special projects can be taken up. So in further slides, I will elaborate. So, if there are any special projects which are envisaged for the far-flung areas of the Northeast region, this is the scheme where you can take advantage of, and we will be elaborating more on all these schemes in the sessions which are going to happen further. Next. So very quickly, DGT is the, I would say, the nodal officer or the office and the officer for the long-term skilling. It is under the aegis of the DGT office that we conduct the long-term skilling. And long-term skilling, we have 34 new ITIs, upgradation of 22 ITIs. We are supplementing the infrastructure deficiency in 28 ITIs. We are having new hostel so that the residential issues or challenges are taken care of. Then 4 ITIs are upgraded to model ITIs and 24 ITIs have been selected for upgradation of quality and enhancement. And we are having, as I said, exact matchmaking of the ITIs to the industry so that the demand and supply gap is lessened as much as is possible. Next. The short-term training is under the Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana, and I need not elaborate much because we already had the successful candidate taking their certificate under PMKVY. So the training duration is from 2 to 6 months, and for recognition of prior learning, which is RPL, it is only 2 to 10 days. And the institutions are primarily the ITIs, the JSS, the Skill Hub, and a good number are they are kind of self-employed and even placed. And these are the short-term job roles which are matching with the requirement of the local economy. And these job roles are exactly figured out from whatever is ODOP offering or whatever is the district skill gap study or the district skilling report is bringing out. So a matchmaking happens, and that is where a beneficiary, a boy or a girl who gets trained in this is able to get a good placement or a good self-employment, or may become a micro or a nano entrepreneur also. Next. So just very quickly I would go through. You already had a lot of success stories coming out in the AV, and we had the successful candidate getting their certificates also. So this is a RPL success story of Nagaland, where by practicing the bamboo art, they could go ahead and do something and enhance their income substantially. Next. This is Manipur, where a traditional family of weavers taking up traditional weaving, and this has made her Atmanirbhar. So heartening to see, especially the women beneficiary getting trained and getting self-employed and getting Atmanirbhar financially. And I would say not only financially, because in all of our skilling and the entrepreneurship development skilling, we fundamentally have the digital skill training also and the financial skill training also. Next. So this is the short-term skilling through JSS. Again, the target group is predominantly people who are having very rudimentary level of education or school dropouts or the non-literate, targeting the age group of 15 to 45, and this is skilling at the doorstep. The JSS, they reach out to the slums, the JSS reach out to the rural population. Again, more than 75 to 80% are the women beneficiary, and this is a very, very strong foothold which is taken the local skilling at the doorstep of the poor and the local population. JSS we have seen, and we have also been witness to the successful JSS beneficiaries becoming entrepreneurs and having their stalls in the exhibition here itself. Next. So success story is, this is one from Manipur, and now they have a computer DTP shop with his saving and the skilling, and he's earning around 20,000 a month. Next. So this is the NAP scheme, which I've already elaborated. So we have close to around 38,000 plus apprentices being engaged, and we also are now targeting and going ahead, and we are having proposals for a new scheme which can be proposed from the states for the apprentices engagement. Next. So Sankalp, as I said, that Sankalp is a project where we can have a curated projects which can come from the districts to the state, and state can recommend those projects to Government of India, and we will analyze and we will approve. So this is one way or one scheme where special initiatives can be taken up, and a definite, I would say, very, very localized and very specific requirement of that district and that state can be taken up in Sankalp. So Sankalp, as we have seen, sir, in IIE also, IIE has collaborated, and they are also taking many such special projects in furtherance to this. And sir, I would just quickly say the Japanese language training for care worker and traditional skill training in Manipur is something which we can definitely replicate. Through these trainings, sir, there is a lot of scope of international mobility as such. So maybe in the sessions to come, we will deliberate and delve upon more in this. And I'm just flagging these issues so that the participants from the state, the senior secretaries, the directors, the commissioners, and their team from education and skilling who are here, you can possibly make your points. If you wish to have more questions on this, your poses on this, we will definitely take it from you. Next. So success story, this is the mobile van which is moving from village to village, cluster to cluster, imparting skilling. So this is one project or one way of delivering skill which can be replicated. So some special projects like we have for homestays in Andhra Pradesh, organic grower in Sikkim, food processor in Tripura, hardware repairing and hairstylist in Mizoram, repatriation of root in Manipur, Nagaland, Assam. So we have number of special projects, sir, and we are eagerly looking forward to views coming from the states in the session. Next. Sir, much has been said already for entrepreneurship development. So I would just very quickly go through it. Like we have the Northeastern Council, the formalizing the caregiving services industry. Then we have the Startup Village Entrepreneurship Program in Meghalaya and Nagaland. We have the PM Daksh program. And very, I would say, important is creating entrepreneurship development cell in the NSTI and ITI cell. This is very important because a lot of, or predominantly the skilling ecosystem, sir, it comes from ITIs and the NSTIs. So having a very regular and a very formulated entrepreneurship development cell there will be something which will become a beginner or which will become which will enable the road ahead for the youth who are entering the vocational or the skilling ecosystem. Yeah. So I would say under the visionary leadership of Honorable Minister, sir, and thanks to you, our Union Minister for Education and Skill, and thanks to the MOS sir, for skills, we were able to launch the special initiative, the special opportunities for skill development and entrepreneurship in the Northeast region on the 8th of August 2023. And there, next, we, on the same day, sir, we launched the Road Ahead worth 360 crores, which would reach out and create benefit for 250,000 beneficiaries of the Northeast region, sir. And we are fully prepared. We have done the mapping. We have initiated the skilling, and a portion of it you could launch today itself, sir. The division which is made as under the Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana, the target which we would be moving ahead in collaboration with the state would be 2 lakh. For the NAPS, that is the National Apprenticeship Promotion Scheme, the target which we have taken up for this financial year is 20,000. For the Jan Shiksha Sansthan, it is 30,000. Then we have the special projects for Strive and Sankalp. As I mentioned, setting up Skill India International is something which we are eagerly looking forward in the Northeast region for the international mobility and the scheme for the polytechnics and the ITIs. Next. Sir, as I said, so I would not be repeating most of these points. For the local opportunity, for the industry ready, for the new age job roles in this 250,000 beneficiaries which the ministry is targeting at the moment. We are creating new job roles. As I said, more than 340 new job roles have been created, and we are going ahead with the skilling in new job roles in the emerging sector like mechatronics, drone, robotics, AR, VR. Also looking at the international mobility in foreign destinations like Japan and Germany. Next. Sir, state-wise precise mapping we have done, but here I would request the lot of collaboration, lot of support from the states. This is an indicative mapping which we have done, which includes the ITIs, the PMKK centers, the KVK, the Manthan Kendras, the JSL, the RCT, the AICTE approved UG and PG colleges, polytechnics, so on and so forth. But there may be many more institutes which can be given or which can be collaborated with the initiatives of the ministry, where we can take up the skilling initiatives. So we would request states to come forth with the institutes or with the trainers and the support, so that we can converge and resonate much larger on the skilling. Next. So under PMKVY 4.0, sir, we have the target of 2 lakh candidates, training for 2 lakh candidates, and we have the district skill development plan, the district skill committee, the survey by the MGN fellows, and the 36 sector skill council also are there, and they would also be a facilitator. The 10 sector which we have identified, again with the collaboration of the state, again as an indicative list. If the states wish to add many more into this, we are more than ready to include the job roles and the courses on them. The agriculture, hydrocarbon, rubber, apparel, food processing, green jobs, iron, steel, construction, tourism, hospitality, and electronics. Next. Sir, this is the list where we have covered the districts and the mapping of the institutions and the target which we have allocated, and more than 38,000 candidates have been enrolled under PMKVY in 2023, and 13,000 trainees are presently under training. Next. Under NAPS, we have 20,000 candidates. So as I said, under the apprenticeship scheme, this is a fundamental scheme under the Apprenticeship Act, and the industries have to converge with the youth. They can have their melas. We have the Pradhan Mantri National Apprenticeship Promotion Melas. We have the workshops where such kind of advocacy and awareness is created, and much of the apprenticeship lifting comes from these melas and workshops. Next. So Jan Shiksha Sansthan is, as I said, is at the grassroots level and requesting the states to take full advantage, especially for the doorstep delivery of the skilling to the population having rudimentary or having basic knowledge. And this, I would say, is not only providing them skilling, but also imparting training in the financial and the digital skill. All the Jan Shiksha Sansthan have a livelihood cell. So it is a very seamless kind of integration. The women, she comes to the Jan Shiksha Sansthan, gets skilled in some job role, some training, gets the basic entrepreneurship training done, and then moves ahead by hand-holding, which is done by the IIE or any entrepreneurship institute, and then kind of takes up the role of a micro or a nano entrepreneur. Next. Sir, I would just take a short opportunity and maybe talk about the PM Vishwakarma scheme, which would be launched on the 17th September. We have had, under the aegis of Honorable Secretary Sir, we have had series of video conferencing and meetings with the chief secretaries of all the states. With the meeting yesterday itself, we had a video conference with the secretaries and principal secretaries of skill of the 8 northeastern region states, and PM Vishwakarma scheme, which is which is the vision of the Honorable Prime Minister Sir, and Skill Ministry has to take up the skill assessment, the basic training and the advanced training of these Vishwakarmas. Vishwakarmas are the artisans which are having the Haath Ka Hunar. So it is an honoring of these artisans, these Vishwakarmas, and we are moving ahead. Again, we would be discussing it a little more in the sessions which are following, but requesting a very, very proactive support, a leadership role from the state, so that we are able to initiate the skilling, which would be a residential skilling in the designated centers and using the trainers which are available. And the 18 trades which have been mandated, the tools for those trades, the manual of using those tools, the short videos, the easy to understand manual, the pocket book of those manuals are already in the process, and we would be coming back to the states again on that. Next. So, sir, this is what we are requesting the states to help us with. The onboarding of the institutions, ITIs, schools, skill hubs, polytechnics, RCT, advocacy, the support mobilization to help bring those trainees to the institute, and yes, NILIT as well, yes sir, added in this, and creating awareness, and very and most important is monitoring the training which would be initiated in these centers. Next. So they may, we have already, as I said sir, there is a Skill India digital portal, and we have just reflected the names of the nodal officers from the ministry who would be hand-holding you, who would be taking you forward, who would be addressing your issues. We have from the PMKVY division, we have the overall coordinator, and as you are very much aware, Director IIE is right here with you, always for you. So I think, sir, this is all I have to say from the ministry side. And as we move ahead in the day's development today, we would like to hear more from the states and come out with a plan, the skill deliverance plan, where we can have a very, very cohesive and a robust and an agile and a responsive system. Thanks so much, sir.
Thank you so much, Srimati Sonal Mishra ma'am, for sharing your valuable insights with us and taking us through your lucid presentation. Can we have one more round of applause for Sonal Mishra ma'am for her wonderful presentation? May I now request Shrimoto Shillong Kumarji, Honorable MLA and Advisor, Labour and Employment, Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, to kindly share a few words with us.
A very good afternoon to everyone in the attendance. Most respected Honorable Minister, Union Minister of State for Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Electronics and Information Technology, Shri Rajiv Chandra Shikarji. Honorable Minister of State for Education, External Affairs, Shri Rajkumar Rajan Singh Ji, our respected Shri Joint Secretary, MSD GOI, NSC, Mr. Moses, then Vice President, Mr. Mahendra Payal, NSDC, high-profile dignitaries on the dais, recipients of the appointment orders, recipients of the awards, media friends, participants, ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored and privileged to be in attendance in the presence of our Honorable Union Minister, Shri Rajiv Chandra Shikarji. I'm so thankful to him for his kind invitation, and also to the Director of IIE for inviting me to be here. Once again, I thank all of you for inviting me. However, the time slot for me, I happened to find out only this morning at the last minute. Till last night, there was no time slot for me, therefore, it is not an issue, but the issue is I have not brought a long list of wish lists. I brought only a few wish lists, which I believe our Honorable Minister and the Ministry official will definitely look into it. And with due apology to our everyone in the attendance here, since I represent Nagaland, I will speak only for Nagaland. Let me not speak for others. In my concluding speech, therefore, let me start with the issue of Nagaland. Now, entrepreneurship employment. Traditionally, the majority of the Nagas depends on the government jobs as a source of sustainable livelihood. However, the saturation of jobs in the government sector, combined with the lack of industrial activities and the presence of organized sector in the state, has hampered the employment opportunities for unemployed youth. With the unemployment on the rise, entrepreneurship is viewed as a key solution to address and mitigate it. Aspiring young entrepreneurs face various challenges, including limited access to funds, inadequate mentorship, deficient entrepreneurial skills sets, and lack of market connections and knowledge. Focusing solely on micro-entrepreneurship and entrepreneurship training might not comprehensively tackle unemployment challenges. A comprehensive approach addressing multiple levels of issues may be necessary. While entrepreneurial skills are vital, supplementary skills like domain expertise and digital marketing proficiency are equally crucial for ensuring business success. The program should, in addition to entrepreneurial skills, explore meeting the scarcity of entrepreneurial mentorship and guidance, which plays a vital role in nurturing and guiding young entrepreneurs by offering support and valuable insights. While entrepreneurial skills are fundamental for a successful enterprise, it is equally vital to recognize that additional competencies such as domain expertise and digital marketing proficiency plays an equally crucial role in guaranteeing the success of business endeavor. As the first person to apply for, I want to remind the audience here, which our Madam Sonali have just announced, my last wish list, the only wish list, besides all the programs which you have just announced her, over and above that, included the establishment of a school of drones for now. It will be a hub and spoke model. Since our Honorable Minister is well versed with electronics and IT technology, I need not explain when I mention the word drone. He knows much better than me, but for the benefit of our people in attendance here, I would just like to highlight in short. This drone will be a big benefit, with especially it will be a center for skilling and upskilling of local youth in the field of IoTs, precision agriculture, survey and mapping using UAVs. As there are emerging technologies, this center will also service the rural population in precision agriculture and smart irrigation by providing real-time data on soil moisture, crop health, weather conditions, and pest infestations, disaster management and emergency response by delivering relief supplies, medical aids, and communication services to affected areas, because a state like mine is a hilly region, inaccessible even by vehicle, due to the poor infrastructures of roads. Definitely, drone technology will help us in a big way. It will facilitate the healthcare delivery by transporting medical equipment and blood samples, vaccines, antivenoms in case of snake bites, which is required very urgently, drugs to rural clinics, PSCs and CSCs. Therefore, let me not expound much, but in short, if our Honorable Minister and the Ministry official could consider our request, we will deeply appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Shri Lalkumarji, for sharing your valuable thoughts and experiences with us and enlightening us with your address. अब मैं माननीय मंत्री महोदय श्री राजकुमार रंजन सिंह जी, शिक्षा और विदेश मंत्रालय, उन्हें अनुरोध करती हूँ कि वे उनके आशीर्वचन से हमें प्रोत्साहित करें।
Namaste. Shri Rajiv Chandrasekhar ji, my esteemed colleague in the ministerial and Minister of Skill Development, Entrepreneurship, Electronic, Information Technology. First of all, I respect you and invite you and welcome you to the Northeast. And Long Kumar ji, Songte ji, Srimati Sonal Misra ji, Moses Salai ji, Shri Atul Kumar ji, and other distinguished on the dais and distinguished present here, and awardee and trained and effective, the successful producers under the after getting the training from IIE. IIE, I have an impression that it gives a strong impression throughout the Northeastern India for the last 2-3 decades. I observe it, and that is the symptom of growth in Northeastern India under the initiative of the IIE. It gives me immense sense of pride as I stand here today as a part of Manthan, Conclave, and at strengthening skill development and entrepreneurship in Northeastern region. I would like to extend my gratitude towards the Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, who has taken personal interest in the growth of the region and making it a part of India's growth story. The establishment or enablement of the youths in the region is taking place at a fast pace under his visionary leadership. It will be interesting to share here with perhaps all of us well aware in the last mission of Chandrayaan-3, not less than 9 personalities, including scientists and other categories in the space research, was involved from the Northeastern India. It's proof that we have the capacity even in the space. And that's why with this idea, today's Manthan will more ignite to our youth. Our government brought a national education policy 2020 after 34 years with a new vision. The NEP 2020 provides for integrating skill with the mainstream education and seek holistic development of learners. Today, before this meeting, we have a chance to discuss among the officials, along with my colleague Rajiv ji. He strictly mentioned that all the schools, all the colleges, and the universities and the technical institutes should also be collaborated, should also be incorporated under this skilling process. And that is a good approach. Of course, in the new education policy or national education policy, it is already highlighted, and we are already on the streamline of that implementations. Under NEP 2020, the key overall thrust of curriculum and pedagogy reform across all stages is to move the education system towards real understanding and towards learning how to learn, and away from the culture of rote learning as is largely present. The aim of education will not only be cognitive development, but also building character and creating holistic and well-rounded individual equipped with the key to the 21st century skill. Specific set of skills and values across domain have been identified for integration and incorporation at each stage of learning, from preschool to higher education. The new curriculum framework and transaction mechanism have to ensure that these skills and values are imbibed through engaging processes of teaching and learning. NCERT has identified those required skill set in the National Curriculum Framework for the early childhood and school education. Under the Prime Minister's vision of Ashtalakshmi, he described very meaningfully to the Northeast, that is the 8 states of the Northeast. Sometimes we said that 7 sisters and 1 brother. Sikkim is the brother, we treat like that. So, in the Northeastern region, as highlighted since, the contributor, under the Prime Minister's vision of Ashtalakshmi, the capability of the 8 states in the region are to become key contributors in India's GDP. There have been remarkable progress in the 8 states in the region in the last 9 years of our government. As a highlight, since 2014, expenditure on railway in the Northeastern region has been about 82,000 crores, and track length has been increased by about 1,900 kilometers. National highway projects worth more than 1 lakh crores have been undertaken in the Northeastern region since 2014, increasing national highway length by 5,000 kilometers. The number of airports in the Northeastern has increased from 9 to 17, and 5 states have been provided air connectivity since 2014. These are the background formulated by our Honorable Prime Minister to ignite the talented youths and entrepreneurs of the Northeastern India, taking this advantage of growth of airport connectivity. And over and above, perhaps all of us well aware that the inland waterways has also been trial, and we found its success, and MOU has already signed with Bangladesh, so that the waterways up to the upper Brahmaputra, that is to the Dibrugarh area, we are already trial, and we found that it is successful. Taking all these advantages, the IIE and the Ministry of Skill Enterprise, they focus to our youths to promote your talent and to promote your production and gearing up your innovative idea to share your product to the contribution of the national GDP. I can see the youths in Northeastern region is beaming with hope as they realize that the focus is now on them and their development. As part of this initiative, lakhs of youths of Northeastern region will receive industry-relevant skill training through a wide array of schemes and initiatives. And now, with the Manthan Conclave, the various opportunities that will be left in front of them will certainly provide them new avenue for career expansion. There is no such or no must focus on ensuring that our youth is successful and independent. To ensure that, several initiatives have been taken and under the implementations in the 8 states. 2 days ago, I handed over appointment letter to 134 new recruits from the Nagaland during the 8th tranche of Rozgar Mela. With this, I would like to congratulate all the ministers of state government, academia, Indian Institute of Entrepreneurship, industry associations, institutions, policymakers, corporations, and most importantly, beneficiaries for becoming a part of this conclave in the Northeast India. We want to promote the spirit of collaboration, sharing best practices, and align effort in the domain of skilling and entrepreneurship. On several occasions, the youth of Northeast India has proven to be a driving force in New India's growth story, enabled by nurturing sustainable entrepreneurship ecosystem, vocational training initiatives, and capacity building effort. The demand for skilled professionals from the region in healthcare, agriculture, and food processing sector has been immense. Just now, the lecture given by Madam, he shows in some of this slide about the Japanese language. We have discussed a lot. Northeast India, the whole 8 states have the inborn capacity and quality of serving the peoples, particularly the nursing service. And South Korea and the Japanese, they want our Northeast India's nursing services. And for that, we need to train the language of the country as well as the what it teaches of that particular country. And therefore, I request the IIE, when you are implementing this scheme, please kindly collaborate with the Nursing Council of India and the nursing institution to have such kind of extra training so that we may get the maximum benefit on that. I am confident that with an initiative like Manthan, we will be able to make this region a stellar example of culture-inspired entrepreneurship that will show the way to the rest of the nations. The growth trajectory of the Northeast India has been remarkable in the last 9 years in the education and skilling landscape. The success received through initiative undertaken under the Skill India mission, vis-a-vis or via its scheme staying as a testament to the government's commitment to creating a robust skill ecosystem in the Northeast region and empowering the domain and employability skill. But here also I would like to mention some more the specific things. For example, before this, the Manthan session, Honorable Minister and myself and all the secretaries had the chance to see some of the exhibition. It's a common problem I come across. Either the exhibition may be in Manipur or Assam or Ceylon. Someone has the produced as an entrepreneur. Say for example, the red rice or brown rice, or the products like bags and carry bags made of reeds, water reeds. One entrepreneur has done it in his innovative idea. Then it is very easy to duplicate it. Then necessarily what happened, A also the same thing, B also the same thing, C also the same thing. So I do not know how you can create competitiveness and excellences among you. My humble opinion is that instead of imitating or duplicating, please try to innovate from your own talent and with the help of the IIE and the skill ministry so that you may be excellent. For example, I would also like to insert one more thing. Northeast India is rich in orchids. We have more than thousands of orchid species. And this is very rare also. Thailand is selling the orchids after tissue labs, selling in the airport. why our Northeast scientist is not able to do that tissue culture lab and plant lab, it can be exported. Or flower that can also be exported. And this kind of new trend, which cannot be duplicated easily by any other. Some typical and specific and scientific background kind of product I expect from our gathering here today. With these few words, once again, I extend my wishes to everyone and hope that this holistic conclave will not only foster information dissemination, but promote active participation, ensuring that the conclave staying as a cornerstone of enriched skilling, entrepreneurship, and all inclusive development in the region. With this few words, once again, I congratulate the IIE and the team of ministry and all the participants. Personally, I have a full confidence to the participants. They will certainly produce a specific, and that will prove the idea of Northeast. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for creating awareness amongst us with your informative speech and encouraging us with your words. अब मैं माननीय संराज्य मंत्री महोदय श्री राजीव चंद्रशेखर जी कौशल विकास उद्यमशीलता इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स एवं इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी मंत्रालय से विनम्र अनुरोध करती हूँ कि इस सभा में उपस्थित सभी बेनिफिशियरी स्टूडेंट्स और माननीय अतिथिगण को उनके वचन से प्रोत्साहित करें.
My colleague in the Council of Ministers, Dr. Rajkumar Ranjan Singh ji, Shri Mata Shri Lal Kumar ji, my colleagues, other colleagues from the government who are on the dais, students, representatives and academics from colleges, skilling institutions, from all across Northeast who are present here today. Good afternoon, namaskar, namaste. First of all, let me request all of you to give an ovation to our Honorable Minister whose birthday it is. So, happy birthday, Dr. Rajkumar Singh ji. Let me start by congratulating, if you want to call it that, but at least thanking my colleagues in the ministry and the Indian Institute of Entrepreneurship for arranging this second stage of launching skilling and entrepreneurship in the Northeast for our young students and young citizens of the Northeast. Just as Sonal ji mentioned in our presentation just over 3 weeks ago in Delhi, 2 cabinet ministers along with me, we launched this scheme, and in 3 weeks we are here amongst you to talk about the details of the scheme and to lay out and chart out the roadmap of how skilling can transform the lives of lakhs of young students here, young citizens, and how we can create a more prosperous economy for all those who live in the states of the Northeast. It is important, and I acknowledge that, and I thank them that today there is a large number of colleges who are attending, not the usual skill centers only or ITIs only. There are colleges today who are attending this Manthan program. There are polytechnics, ITIs, the Director General of NILIT, a network of institutions that delivers high-tech skills in the Northeast is also here. And for all those who are present from these colleges and institutions also, I thank you. Why am I thanking them, and why do I believe that this Manthan is so important? And therefore, to that question, I would like to make some points, and I will club these points into 3 broad sections. And I hope you will understand why we are here and what the next step should be. As my colleague Dr. Singh said, over the last 9 years, the narrative and the reality of the Northeast has tremendously transformed. From an infrastructure deficit region, from infrastructure deficit states, we are now a region and a group of states that is rapidly building modern infrastructure, which in turn is transforming the lives, connecting hundreds and thousands of citizens who were unconnected before. And the importance of this, let me explain to you with a clear real-life experience that I can share. About 7 years ago, or maybe even 8 years ago, there was I used to run an entrepreneurship program individually on my own in the Northeast in Nagaland. And I was very convinced about the potential of a lot of the entrepreneurs I met. So on my own initiative, I asked a German company to try and explore setting up a development center in Kohima. So obviously they were friends of mine, so they took a flight, they kind of booked the tickets and decided to fly to Dimapur and Kohima. And 24 hours later, he called me and he said, not going to be possible. He said, there is a lot of talented youngsters here, but if it takes me 1 day to reach from Bengaluru to the place I am going, 1 full day, then there is no way that I can establish a development center there. The reason I bring that example is that infrastructure was a very important element of creating the seeds of entrepreneurship and seeds of businesses, investments and jobs. That has changed in the last 9 years. And so today, Northeast is now in a phase where we are looking forward to capitalize on what Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji has built over the last 9 years. He has built this world-class infrastructure and connectivity, and now it is time to talk about investments, businesses, jobs, and entrepreneurship. And that is why, therefore, this team from Skill India, MSDE, and all the other people assembled here are here today to talk about the coming future. Why is skilling so important to the coming future? My colleague also mentioned that there was an over-dependence on government jobs for the last 75 years or 70 years in the Northeast. And it is clear today for a young young man or woman from Arunachal or Nagaland or Assam or Meghalaya or Sikkim or any of the states, that is no longer the only opportunity. That opportunity is also not growing as fast as the young population is growing and will always be limited. So government jobs, as Dr. Rajkumar Singh ji said, is not the answer for our future. And therefore skilling and being skilled for the large number of opportunities that Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji's policies are creating is the answer. And be under no doubt, this India, this new India today is creating every day newer and newer opportunities for jobs in India, in your local community, abroad, in entrepreneurship, startups. Unprecedented job creation and opportunity creation is underway in this economy of India, which is the world's largest economy, is the world's fastest growing economy, the 5th largest economy today, and going to be the 3rd largest economy. So skills are absolutely important. Skills and the logo or the slogan of this meeting, of this Manthan is Naya India, Naye Afsar, Naye Skill, Naye Rozgar. This is a new India which is full of new opportunities which requires new skills to create new jobs. So I will lay out three very broad points for you, and then post lunch, I don't want to keep you from lunch. The first is, as I said, skills are the most important way, or skills are the most important passport to jobs and passport to opportunities. As Sonalji said in our presentation, these opportunities, when we look at, there is global India for talent, global demand for Indian talent. There is demand for newer and newer skilled youth for the jobs that are being created in our economy. And because of the digitization of the world, there are newer and newer opportunities for our entrepreneurship. And so skilling, and this is why I'm very happy that all the states today are represented here by the decision makers, and Shri Moses Chalai from the Northeast Council is also here. We would like Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji's vision of 400 crores and 2.5 lakh young men and women from the Northeast to be skilled. The design of that, the goal of that, the job roles, the actual skilling, targeting entrepreneurs, targeting youngsters looking for jobs, industry-ready jobs, to be designed by and be aligned with every state government. Mr. Lomkumar said in his brief speech that he desires the capability for drone operators in Nagaland. Certainly that is something we can deliver for you. And Nilet is here, DG Nilet is here. That is something over the next 10 days, if each state government can come back to this very dedicated team of Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship and say, this is what we want in each state, in each district. These are the numbers of students, these are the number of entrepreneurs that we want skilled. We will, after those 10 days, take a few days and finalize that. And that is our promise to you, that we will not develop the skilling program based in Delhi, but we will develop the skilling program based on what you want, what your aspirations of the young citizen in each state wants. And I am further willing to go and say and commit today that when we launch the skilling program in each state, I will come back and help you launch the skilling program in each state. So we launched it in Delhi. 3 weeks later, we launched it here in Guwahati for the whole region. And over the next 3 weeks, if we can start launching it in every state, so that for the next 1 year, we can have 2.5 lakh youngsters be skilled so that they are getting jobs, 2.5 young citizens getting skilled so that they can set up businesses and grow those businesses as well. This is clearly our outcome, this is clearly our goal. We don't want people to be skilled without jobs, we don't want people to be skilled which jobs that don't require those skills. And I will also say this, that after the skill program is launched, we will create a conference, preferably in Guwahati, where all the big employers, big companies, big investors who invest in entrepreneurs, on micro entrepreneurs, will also come here with the banks, with the financial institutions, so that skilling and the required ecosystem of enablement will also be presented to the youngsters who are going through the skilling program. Second point I just want to quickly tell you is the new approach to skilling, which I've already covered in a little bit. Let me expand on it a little bit. This skilling program is as much for entrepreneurs whose work we see in the exhibition as it is for those who want to seek jobs in the new and emerging areas. So we will have skills for self-help groups, for FPOs, for cooperatives, all of those who today have this incredible opportunity because of the digitization of the world where their products and their producers and their innovation can be delivered through e-commerce and technology platforms to a market far beyond their local community or their local state. When you see organic food, and when I talk about entrepreneurship, I don't talk only about technology, I don't talk about only tech startups. It is as much to do with organic food, it is about organic meat, it is about handicrafts, it is about textiles, home furnishing, traditional hardware. All of these things today have a large global market which can be reached very easily through e-commerce platforms, and we will connect ONDC, the government's own digital e-commerce platform, and we will bring the Amazons and we'll bring the Flipkarts and connect them to every entrepreneur who comes through the skill mission. For those job Therefore, the outcome of the skilling is that they are able to quickly get jobs, and therefore these job roles are being designed carefully with sector skill councils. And I would encourage my colleague Atul Tiwari ji also, as we launch each state skill programs, are aware about what the skills are. I wanted to make those two broad points, and I just end with a third. Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji has said and says repeatedly, India is at an inflection point. Northeast is also at an inflection point because of the last 9 years of progress. We are looking to a future where we are economically strong, our economy is growing rapidly, creating opportunities. This much the Prime Minister has said. But Prime Minister has also said one other thing, that this future that is going to be built by young Indians will require all young Indians to be possessing some skills. Skill to pursue each of these opportunities in the future. And this is an incredible contrast where of 42 crore Indians in the workforce, 31 crore Indians work without skills or education. So this India, which was an India where 3 out of every 4 Indians had no skills or education. And this effort by this very motivated team in the Government of India Skill Development Ministry, in which I include myself as well, is aimed at changing that legacy narrative without skills. Instead, enable their success in the coming years. Again, thank you all for being here this morning/afternoon for Manthan on skill development in the Northeast. I especially thank the colleges and the institutions and the students who are here. And of course, I thank the state governments and all the representatives of the state governments for being here and being stakeholders and important stakeholders in this vision of a new India that is brimming with talented, skilled young Indians looking for opportunity. Thank you. Jai Hind.
On behalf of each one of us present here for Manthan 2023, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks and my sincere gratitude to Honorable Minister Sir for gracing with his presence on this wonderful occasion and enlightening us and inspiring us with his speech. Can we have one big round of applause for Honorable Minister Sir, who has taken out time from his busy schedule to be with us here this afternoon. And at the same time, as we have almost come to the end of the plenary session, I would like to request Dr. Lalit Sharma, Director IIE, to kindly step onto the stage and offer his vote of thanks.
धन्यवाद सर, आपके शब्दों से हमें बहुत प्रेरणा मिली है। पूर्वोत्तर में तेजी से बदलते हुए परिवेश, उद्योगों में लगातार बदलती मांगों, बाजार में बढ़ती प्रतिस्पर्धा और तकनीकी बदलावों के चलते विभिन्न हितधारकों एवं मंत्रालयों द्वारा कौशल एवं उद्यमशीलता को बढ़ाने के प्रयासों पर पुनर्विचार करना प्रासंगिक हो जाता है। इस मंथन शिविर के द्वारा IIE एवं कौशल विकास एवं उद्यमशीलता मंत्रालय का प्रयास है कि एक बार हम अपने प्रयासों पर पुनर्विचार करें और उसमें सुधार के सभी आयामों का अवलोकन करें। इस कार्यक्रम में सम्मिलित होने पर मैं आदरणीय केंद्रीय राज्य मंत्री कौशल विकास एवं उद्यमशीलता मंत्रालय श्री राजेंद्र चंद्रशेखर जी का आभार व्यक्त करना चाहता हूं कि आप समय निकालकर इस कार्यक्रम में आए और हमारा उत्साहवर्धन किया। आपके आने से इस कार्यक्रम में एक नई ऊर्जा का संचार हुआ है। हम सभी की ओर से धन्यवाद स्वीकार करेंगे। मैं आदरणीय केंद्रीय राज्य मंत्री शिक्षा मंत्रालय श्री राजकुमार रंजन सिंह जी को भी धन्यवाद देना चाहूंगा, जिनके प्रभावशाली वचनों से हम सभी प्रभावित हुए हैं एवं हमें नई दिशाओं का ज्ञान हुआ है। हम नागालैंड सरकार के रोजगार कौशल एवं उद्यमशीलता विभाग के माननीय सलाहकार श्री महतो श्री लोंग कुमार जी को भी अत्यंत आभार प्रकट करना चाहेंगे, जिन्होंने इस कार्यक्रम में सम्मिलित होकर अपने बहुमूल्य सुझाव प्रस्तुत किए हैं। Thanks a lot for gracing this occasion, sir. अब मैं इस कार्यक्रम के प्रेरणा स्रोत्र आदरणीय सचिव कौशल विकास एवं उद्यमशीलता मंत्रालय श्री अतुल कुमार तिवारी जी को सादर धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूं, जिनके मार्गदर्शन में हम इस कार्यक्रम का आयोजन कर पाए हैं। हम नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न काउंसिल के आदरणीय सचिव श्री मोजेस चलाई जी को भी विशेष धन्यवाद देना चाहेंगे, जिन्होंने इस कार्यक्रम में सम्मिलित होकर हमारा मान बढ़ाया है। आदरणीय संयुक्त सचिव श्रीमती हीना उस्मान जी, श्रीमती सोनल मिश्रा जी एवं श्रीमती मधुमता दास जी ने इस कार्यक्रम को सफल बनाने के भरपूर प्रयास किए हैं। इसके लिए मैं उनका अत्यंत आभार व्यक्त करना चाहूंगा। मैं मंच पर आसीन सभी अधिकारीगण, मंत्रालय, IIE एवं NSDC के सभी अधिकारियों को धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूं। सभी ने इस कार्यक्रम को सफल बनाने में अपना भरपूर सहयोग दिया है। और अंततः यहाँ आए सभी अतिथिगण, हमारे लाभार्थी, विभिन्न मंत्रालयों एवं सरकारी विभागों से आए हुए अधिकारीगण, शिक्षण संस्थानों एवं वित्त संस्थानों से आए हुए पदाधिकारीगण, उद्यमी, उद्योग एसोसिएशन एवं NGO इत्यादि का धन्यवाद देता हूँ कि आप इस मंथन शिविर में सम्मिलित हुए एवं हमारे इस प्रयास में आपने अपना सहयोग दिया। आप सभी का पुनः पुनः धन्यवाद।
Thank you, Lalitji, for your sincere vote of thanks. We shall now break for lunch, and I request all our participants and delegates to kindly proceed towards the exhibition area, as lunch has been arranged for you in the exhibition, and you can enjoy and relish your lunch. At the same time, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to all the dignitaries on the dais for gracing this occasion. Can we have one round of applause for all of you present here? Thank you so much for being a wonderful audience. Thank you.
lunch break.